Now that the final saga is here, it is time for fans to buckle up because massive revelations are going to be made about the world of One Piece and incredible battles await them. Recently, Oda mentioned what the final saga of One Piece is going to be focused on, and, undoubtedly, by the looks of it, things are going to be on a level yet not witnessed by the fans. The final saga's focus. According to Eiichiro Oda, the final saga of One Piece is the most important part of the story. He has previously mentioned that all the other story arcs in the saga are going to be very small compared to the final saga. In fact, one of the very best arcs in the story, Marineford, was considered by Oda to be a side journey in Luffy's story, and not something all that important. On the contrary, the final saga has always been planned meticulously by him, which means a lot more care and effort has been put into playing the events of this part of the series. Recently, Oda started the final saga, and it is already clear to the fans why this saga is going to be very special. The world of One Piece is more chaotic than ever before in every faction, be it pirates, the Marines, the Revolutionary Army, or the former warlords, are fighting for supremacy right now to the best of their abilities. Thrown into the mix are major revelations about the history of the One Piece world, and that is precisely where Oda expects the final saga to go. According to him, the highlight of the upcoming arcs of One Piece is going to be the past. This means that Oda is itching to draw the events of the Void Century, and he is finally ready to tell the fans what exactly transpired during this 100-year void that ranged from 900 to 800 years ago in the One Piece world. Fans know very little about it, however. It lies at the core of One Piece and is extremely important. The Void Century. As fans know already, the Void Century was introduced to the story through Nico Robin. Her goal was to find the Rio poneglyph that would allow her to find out the true history of the world. On Skypiea, Robin realized that her goal, that is, to find the Rio poneglyph, will come to fruition by journeying with the Straw Hat Pirates all the way to the final island, that is, Laugh Tale. Later on, during the Water 7 arc, the tragedy of Ohara was finally revealed to the fans, and it was mentioned that the scholars of Ohara were researching these ancient texts. Ohara made great developments when it came to finding out the truth about the Void Century. They realized the existence of an ancient kingdom, and the fact that it had a big enemy that eventually ended up winning over it. They also realized the name of the ancient kingdom itself. According to the scholars, led by Professor Clover, this ancient kingdom was destroyed by their enemies, and the enemies ended up becoming the world government, as people of the One Piece world know right now. However, these people of the ancient kingdom left behind the poneglyphs, which tell the story of their rich history and the truth about what happened during this century. Clover, along with all the other scholars of Ohara, were killed, and Robin remains to be the sole survivor. It will be very interesting to see where Oda goes with Robin in the final saga, and surely, things will only get more interesting for her character, the 20 Monarchs. At the same time, fans also know already that 20 Monarchs combined their forces to battle the Ancient Kingdom during the Void Century. On their own, defeating the Ancient Kingdom would have been nearly impossible. This is especially true because the Ancient Kingdom was far more advanced than any kingdom that currently exists in the One Piece world. Even though the Ancient Kingdom existed 900 years ago, their technology was far superior to what is available right now. In fact, Egghead Island, which is Vegapunk's base for his research, is only a small manifestation of what was available to the people of the world during ancient times. To crush their power, the 20 Monarchs combined their forces and ended up defeating the Ancient Kingdom somehow. Then, 19 out of the 20 Monarchs decided to move to Mary Ajoy, which lies at the center of the world. They swore to never fight for power over one another, and put their weapons in front of the empty throne, which signified their equality among each other. The only ruler who did not do this was Queen Nefertari Lily, the monarch of the land of Alabasta at the time. Lily wanted to rule her kingdom by herself and, for this reason, she wanted to go back to the surface. However, as was revealed recently, Queen Lily ended up dying through some unknown means and never made it back to Alabasta. The Great Emu. Finally, there is the mystery of the Great Emu that is surely going to be covered in the final arc of One Piece. Emu is deeply related to the Void Century as well, and Oda is certainly going to reveal great mysteries about this character. Emu was only revealed to the fans during the Reverie arc, where it was shown that they are indeed the true ruler of the entire world. Despite the existence of the empty throne, the world is ruled by a single person, and this person reigns supreme over even the celestial dragons. In the final saga, Emu revealed their powers even further, as they destroyed the kingdom of Lelugia with a mere stroke of a pen. Later on, it was also revealed to the fans that they made their identity known to King Cobra, and that they also have something to do with the sad demise of Queen Nefertari Lily. Emu is a relic from ancient times, and whatever happened to the ancient kingdom has deep ties to them. It will be extremely interesting for the fans to see what happened during the Void Century, what exactly the true history of the world entails, who Emu is, and how they are related to all this. With the story now being in the final saga, the time for Oda to reveal the answers to these mysteries is now. As mentioned before, a great war is brewing, and Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates will certainly be at the center of it, and the fans will get to enjoy what will be the greatest arcs of One Piece. And in other news, One Piece, 6 best Zorro victories. Zorro is one of the main characters of One Piece and among the most reliable members of the Straw Hat Pirates. As a master swordsman, Zorro's strength is second only to Luffy, and his incredibly ambitious goal sees him target the throne of the world's strongest swordsman. To get there, Zorro needs to put in a lot of work, and he has defeated countless enemies standing in his way. Zorro has been in countless battles and received many scars as well. Along the way, he has improved his strength by overcoming the adversities that he has faced. While there are many battles that he has been in, there are some that make him shine more than others. Versus Pika. Zorro fought against Pix towards the end of the Dressrosa arc of One Piece. Pika was one of the higher-ranking officers of the Don Quixote pirates. With the powers of the Ishi Ishi no Mi, Pika could assimilate stone and control even large plateaus, which is an incredible feat. Zorro clashed against Pika, and in this fight, he demonstrated his armament hockey for the very first time after the time skip. Zorro showed how far he had come following his training with Dracula Mihawk, and ended up completely overwhelming Pika. In this fight, Zorro wasn't pushed to even half his strength, which just goes to show how powerful he was following his training with Mihawk. Versus Baroque Works. On Whiskey Peak, Zorro fought against 100 members of the Baroque Works all by himself. When the group tried to lull the Straw Hat Pirates in and assassinate them, it was Zorro who managed to see through their plans, along with Nami. However, Zorro took on the challenge of fighting them all alone. Later on, he also had to clash with Luffy, as his captain was upset at the treatment he gave to the people who supposedly welcomed them to the island. Versus Kaku. Zorro fought against Kaku during the Enies Lobby arc. Kaku was introduced to the fans during the Water 7 arc, where he posed as a shipwright of the Galley Law Company. In time, Kaku was revealed to be a member of the CP9, a secret intelligence agency of the government that specialized in assassination. Zorro took him on in order to rescue Robin. The fight was incredibly difficult for him. However, by channeling his inner powers, he was able to win. Zorro had to tap into the power of Ashura to overcome him. However, he did so in quite some fashion. Versus Ryuma. Ryuma is another incredible foe that Zorro ended up fighting in the Thriller Bark arc. This fight is doubly special, given that Ryuma is actually an ancestor of Zorro. In Thriller Bark, Ryuma was a zombie brought to life with the powers of the Kage no Mi of Gecko Moria. While not as strong as he was in real life, Ryuma was still a menace, capable of being a general zombie-level fighter. His fight against Zorro was extremely intense and short-lived at the same time. Since they were both high-caliber swordsmen, the battle ended quickly, and it was Zorro who ended up taking the victory here. After defeating him, Zorro also earned Shusui, the prized possession of the land of Wano, from him. Versus King. Zorro ended up fighting against King in the Wano arc of One Piece. This fight remains to be one of the hardest that he has ever fought to date. Before the fight, Zorro was in no condition to take on King in battle. However, thanks to a magic mink drug, he was restored to full health for a temporary time period. During this time, Zorro did everything possible to defeat King, but initially, he struggled quite a lot. King proved to be a menace for Zorro to deal with. However, all it took for him to defeat King was to master Enma. This sword has tremendous properties, as it allowed him to channel his conqueror's haki to the fullest. With this newly unlocked power, and the fact that he was able to figure out King's weakness, Zorro powered through and managed to defeat King. Versus Mr. 1. Zorro versus Mr. 1 remains to be his very best victory to this day. This fight was incredibly difficult for him, and it tested him on both a spiritual as well as a physical level. Mr. 1 was incredibly powerful, as is expected of the right-hand man of Sir Crocodile. His steel body meant that Zorro couldn't cut him at the time, and, thus, he suffered terribly. Zorro was in a near-death situation during this clash, and it is only then that he received a power-up that allowed him to cut through steel. Zorro managed to level up during the fight, and his newfound abilities allowed him to slice through the steel body of Mr. 1. That said, this fight still saw him bruised and battered and on the brink of death. Undoubtedly, it is Zorro's most impressive fight as well as victory to this date, in the manga, at the very least. That's a wrap for this video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We'll be back with more amazing videos very soon.